Here we go. Here we are. We are live once again. Another Thursday night. It's been a few weeks, but we're back with the Bomb Squad Cup Series. After we last saw these guys, I believe, at Darlington, we were at the other Carolina. We are at Charlotte or Lowe's. That's a true OG right there. If you know it just as Lowe's Motor Speedway. And that is the action that we've got on tap for everyone this evening. 120 laps here with some nighttime action. I'm excited for it. I've got my drink next to me to hopefully keep my throat and my voice and everything in check as we still continue to recover from Lord knows what illness because it's been a lot of fun this last month. I say that with every bit of sarcasm that I can muster, but happy May to everybody, and happy May to my cohort here, back with a familiar face up here in the booth, Mr. Zach Rogers.
What up, Andrew? We're here at Lowe's in Charlotte, North Carolina. 4 races left in the season. I mean, the championship's pretty much wrapped up. BSR Tyler has won the last 7 cup races in a row. It has been a hot streak to conclude this season and what'll most likely be Tyler's third straight cup title. As we see, Tyler didn't think he was qualifying for a second, but he just jumped straight to the top of the Q chart.
And why am I not surprised about that one? But yep, with a 28.660, that puts Tyler on pole. It looks like if he holds it for the next 5 seconds. That would put Wiley King on the front row, though, which was pretty impressive there out of the 095.
Yeah, Wiley's
And
got a lot of speed here. When I last raced this track in 2024, Wiley was wicked fast. So watch out for the 095 tonight.
we'll be watching for the 095. We'll be watching, of course, for the 93. Ricky J, who will be starting in third. Steve Grant, and how about Dunlap Pratt in this race? I don't think that we've called a Bomb Squad race with him in it yet, so
Nope.
that's pretty cool to see. He will be
He made
starting fifth.
his debut at Vegas last week.
Oh, yeah, over on JTN, I did catch some of that, which of course, we've always got to shout out JTN. They'll be picking up the coverage once again for the championship race at Atlanta. Of course, Zach, as you mentioned, we got those 4 races left to go, including tonight. Rockingham is next week,
And then
and then
Phoenix,
Phoenix. And
which I've heard they are going to use 2011 again instead of game
oh,
track.
nice. That that might be worth getting out the controller for that one. Maybe we'll see. Um,
Yeah,
if we're not on the call, for sure.
that's a very controller friendly track. Why don't you race and you know, either I'll be on the call or it'll be a broadcast free night.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong
just
with a broadcast free night.
no, yeah, maybe just let everyone have some fun with it. I know that
Besides,
track that just suits me. I don't know why, but it does.
besides, I get paid more when I do it myself.
I mean, you do have a very, very valid point.
I get paid for one race, or you pay me for X amount of races after so long. Whatever. I
After
don't
so
care that
long, and
much,
it's
but obviously I care a little bit, but I don't care too much.
hey, at the end of the day, it's I mean, I've tried to try and do what I can. Hey,
It's
I
like
will
I
not
said,
deny.
it is all good in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah,
Back to this race though. So, a few stats. The last time the race was won from the pole was by BSR Tyler in the 2023 spring race. The last 3 races for Tyler have not gone the way he would have liked here at this track. He was wrecked in the 2023 fall race. He blew up and ran on 7 cylinders for the rest of the race in the lone 2024 event, which yours truly was the winner of, not to gloat. And then in the 2025 race earlier this season in the fall, he lost to Joshua Clements on fuel mileage by a matter of inches. So these last three races have not gone the way Tyler would have liked. He loves to win here, and he'll be gunning to win for the second time from the pole here. It's been done 8 times in the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. 8 times this race has been won from the pole. DJ Champ has done it here the most. 4 of his 5 wins here come from the pole. But tonight, DJ Champ, starting in 11th, either chose not to set a lap or he wrecked it trying to set a lap.
And yep, as you said, DJ, in this race, so see what he'll be able to do. We'll see what Tyler, of course, on that hot streak. We'll see if that hot streak will continue. Said what it would be 8 in a row if he pulled it off.
That would be correct. He would extend the record to 8 wins in a row if he can pull it off. And if he is to, I mean, it's almost a shoo-in that he could extend it to 9 in a row next week because he, like he is at Darlington, is pretty much untouchable at North Carolina on the long run.
Those tire eating tracks are easily his strong suit. So, but yeah, we've got the North Carolina swing here, pretty much Charlotte and Rockingham, and then yep, as we said, Phoenix, and then the season will conclude at Atlanta with JTN on the call for that one. Got looks like I believe 15 cars in this race, so a good pack. We've got some other drivers coming out that we haven't seen quite as often, including Cody Luke. We've seen Noah Dagenhart a few times, and then of course the aforementioned Don LaPrade after his debut last week at Vegas, coming out here tonight also for Charlotte, which is fantastic to see. It's always fun to have Don in one of these races, and I expect him to be putting up some pretty good speed as well. But can anyone touch that FedEx number 18? Of course, shades of Bobby Labonte and the
I know
car
who.
that came oh so close to winning. What was that, 2005, 2006, when Jimmy Johnson beat him on the last corner?
I don't remember. I'm not a Bobby Labonte fanatic like our resident Bobby Labonte fanatic here in the 18. I would not know, but Tyler would. Um, but so you mentioned who can beat the 18. Well, just look no further than the 93 of BSR Ricky J. Ricky J has won here 6 times, including a stretch where he won 5 races in a row at this track from the middle of the year 2020 race all the way through to the early 2022 race. So he won 5 races in a row at this racetrack. 6 wins total. Recent win came in the 2023 fall race.
And here we are for the. Actually, this is their only stop. Oh no, they did stop here on January 9th. So
Yes, I did mention 2025 spring, aka 2025 fall, winter. That was the
it's
race won by Josh Clements.
if the fuel mileage race. That's right. I'm a little discombobulated because it's like, oh yes, spring and fall race. Well, these guys they do the majority of their season through the winter, so it gets a little uh just a little confusing on that front. As we'll get on and off track real quick, and then
Yeah,
everything should be all set and ready to go.
that confusion will likely dissipate in the future as a word on the street is, they could be migrating back to the normal year format of, February to November.
Field is rolling again. Yep, there's Tyler on pole, and that beautiful Camry. That scheme does look really nice on a Gen 6, I will say. And then you
There's
got
a
Wiley
lot
King
of
on the outside.
there's a lot of schemes that look great on the Gen 6, I'm not going to lie.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
I will
Ricky
say
J,
though,
Steve Grant, row two. Sorry, go ahead.
as much as I despise the number being moved forward when they introduced the Gen 7, it has grown on me.
From what a, a more experienced painter in Seth Cole has told me, while yeah, it's unorthodox, it gives you way more freedom as like a scheme designer to kind of spread your wings a little bit more because you got so much more canvas essentially to work with. So
Yeah, they
I could see it going both ways.
they pretty much just said, you know what, we don't need contigs anymore. Just throw the number up there, and
Pretty
then
much.
yeah, you got more space to do stuff with towards the rear of the car and the door of the car.
I mean, heck, even Ricky Jay in his car right now, he's already got the spirit there, even on the Gen 6.
There's a semi truck on the side of that thing.
Representing Voiles Trucking. As
There we
we
go.
always got to shout those guys out, but it is green flag here at Charlotte. 120 laps. Gonna be a long race here, so patience, patience, patience. Let's see what these guys can do.
And this is the second
Whoa.
race in a row that they are running this as a 120 lap event. It's been a bit more of a trend here to run this as a 120 lap race as opposed to what would be a 140 lap race at 35% distance, just because the default laps is based off of the Coke 600 and not the 500-mile race.
And yeah, the 35%, which is what these guys used to run all the time, they've gone to 30% for this season. And
No, they've been running 35%.
oh, they have.
No, yeah, it's only this track, Andrew. Only
Oh,
this
I gotcha.
track. As the reason
Which
I
does
just
make
mentioned,
sense.
the mileage that is set in the INI. Yeah. Yeah, they
Makes sense
still
given
don't.
this sheer insane length.
As Andrew said, he is discombobulated, and he took me saying, "Oh yeah, they're running 30% for this race," as, "Oh, they've been running it all year," but it's okay.
And I've been calling some of these, so listen, when you've been in the state that I have been in, as well as just,
Fog.
general life stuff, you tend to lose your marbles a little bit, and my marbles are scattered all over the room.
Yeah, it's just a mind fog. We've got a pretty decent battle heating up, I think, here for third. Wiley King is maybe looking to get by Dunlaprad for the spot. Otherwise, we are pretty much single file. Cody Luke and Noah Dagenhart are slowly moving forward from the rear. They're up to 10th and 12th, respectively.
We did see just a lap or two ago, Nelly was able to get by Steve Grant for a position at the top five. Nelly, or Eli rather, through the grass. Did he just hold on to that?
Cody
That
Luke was also
was a
like,
driving job.
Cody Luke got loose off a turn for himself and was driving through the grass as Eli had his moment.
There were a few guys that were loose off there. I saw Eli. You mentioned Cody. I think that Steve Grant also had a moment, or it
I
was
just
one of these
saw it on
guys
my
here.
phone. I just saw it on my phone. You were watching Eli while I was watching Cody, and they pretty much did the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be something to watch out for. Turn four
Yeah.
tends to be calamity corner at this track where it gets tight, so you want to crank the wheel a little bit more, and then next thing you know, the back end responds and just kicks right out on you. I cannot tell you how many times that has happened to me.
Yeah, Andrew, we were talking a little bit before we went live, and I was saying how in the early years of my time on the game, I would always just get tight through 3 and 4 after about 5 to 10 laps. Never could really figure out, what I really needed to do, because like it felt fine through 1 and 2, but I would always get tight through 3 and 4 no matter what. And then, eventually I figured out it was somewhat driving related, how I was driving it, turning it, and then also maybe a little setup related. And now, you're just I'm like same as Cody and Eli, like it is the corner that you will get really loose off of.
Oh, we got one going around there. Speaking of that corner,
And it's
they
a
got
yellow. It's Eli. Got tagged again by the loose.
looks like yep, there he's rolling.
Well, he had it. He about had it saved, and then it just weight shifted in the grass and it spun him out. But doesn't hit the wall too hard, so pretty harmless spin for the 114.
Running behind Dagenhart here in the 24. And yeah, it looks pretty familiar, but yeah, that time, yeah, as you said, the weight shifted way harder and then spun back up onto the track. Couple light hits there, moderate damage shouldn't really cause any issues.
We've lost Pantelica.
Oh yeah, I see that. He's fell out of. He disconnected from TeamSpeak, and yeah, he did
Oh,
indeed retire from the race.
so a this is weird. So he disappeared for about a lap, and then when he came back, he was all the way down in the grass on the front straightaway.
Oh
And
wow.
this was, I think, a lap before Eli's spin, and he parked it right there. He
Yeah,
was
I just
spun
took a
out
look
on
at
pit
that.
road. Oh, that's a tough break.
Man, yeah, yeah, we've already one down, and just thanks to some connectivity issues. I guess he probably got off track once he figured, oh boy, I don't know if I'm coming back or not, and if I do, it's going to be a bigger problem than it's worth. And unfortunately, that is already going to be one driver out of this thing. The break, as you said, for Pantelica, as we
Brain,
got everybody pretty much on pit road except Brain, of course.
yeah, Brain stayed out for his lady lap as Steve Grant with probably the crookedest pit job. I thought Wiley's was crooked, but then I looked back at Steve Grant and my goodness gracious. Ooh, Wiley might have gotten Ricky J off of pit road. I'm not quite sure. That was really close. So
Looking like
anyway,
so.
Brain Fade stayed out there to lead what would be his 63rd lap led here. That's like one of my favorite things is I can tell you on the first lap that a driver leads. I can tell you at least what lap that is to their total here, but after that, I cannot tell you. Um, so, for example, Tyler led his 207th lap to start the race in his time here at this track.
And he's only been doing it so long. Well,
So
it's Tyler. What do you expect?
let's do a broadcaster statistic here for this yellow. We'll do yours, Andrew, because I don't want to do mine first, because then it will seem like I'm gloating again. So, fellow broadcaster here, BSR Miller has run 3 cup races here at Lowe's. He's got 1 top 10 with an average starting position of ninth and an average finish of 15.3. And the, 2 DNFs out of those 3 races, no laps led.
That sounds about right. This track and me and cup physics never got along. I am trying to get a handle on cup physics lately. That's why I've run more Texas races until I decided to change setups in the race that you broadcasted and embarrassed myself.
Oh, you were
But
fine. You were fine.
that just got so frustrating to drive after a while. I,
Looks
we've talked,
looked pretty
we've talked,
sporty.
we have talked before about like kind of driving off of the right front versus the right rear. I definitely am right rear leaning. I would greatly prefer to have a car that will turn versus a car that's tight. I can't stand a tight car. It frustrates me. It gets me so aggravated.
Now,
And eventually I'll just be like, just throw in the towel.
the problem with that though is you're on controller, so not as ideal. You're not really able to control the looseness as much as you could on a wheel and pedals.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why I could never drive a KJ setup.
Oh, I can't even. I haven't tried recently, but the last time I tried driving a KJ setup that wasn't like at Michigan, like Michigan's the one track where I like made like a few small adjustments and I could like hang it. But I have not tried driving a KJ setup for like a few years now. I should give it another go. I think I might be able to handle some of them a little more, but even then, like I do certain things to the rear end compression to tighten it up. Which reminds me, I couldn't do it at Texas because I was on the play-by-play. But we will have to get into some Bulldogs garage here when we can later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a track that very interesting. At least from what I can tell, to try and adjust for, because while you would think that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are very similar, they drive very, very differently, especially at this particular version. So that's something to always consider whenever you're tuning for it. And yeah, we'll definitely try and get a look into how you try to tune for that in accordance to try to keep it as even as you can in each set of corners. But Tyler, I'm going to be bringing him to the green flag once again, lap 13. Wiley King, Ricky J, Dunlaprad, and Steve Grant. Currently the top five coming around to take the green. Off turn four there. 14 out of 15 drivers still running here. All on the lead lap. And back to racer we go there. Some real spin there on the restart, but all clean so far. Well, I say that, and that appears to be Magoo through the grass. That should not be a yellow, but that is not going to benefit him. A little loose there for Wiley King
There was
in
an
second.
accordion. There was an accordion. Sorry, Andrew. There was
Yeah,
an
you're good.
accordion on the restart. Let's see if I can find out where it started. Yeah, looks like there was a little bit of a checkup in front of Cody Luke. So Cody Luke only lifted a tiny bit, but then DJ hit the brake, so that checked up Brain Fade Magoo. Brain Fade hit DJ, Magoo hit Brain, and then Eli hit Magoo even harder, and it spun Magoo around.
And that's just how quickly they can accordion together like that. And Magoo now is probably going, all right, get that yellow flag back out, guys. Come on. Wiley King a little close here to the 18. Giving him a little bit of something to think about. But Tyler just going to kind of continue to run his line there. There's that little area there in turn two where the car will actually catch pretty well and pretty much turn for you a lot better than it would in like the very middle of the corner. So that's why you kind of see them go from maybe half a lane up all the way down to the white line. That's always something that at least helped me out whenever I'd be driving this place, and I'm sure that's something that again these guys they kind of know how to try to navigate, trying to maximize their speed. Down the Pratt up the track a little bit. Almost opened the door for Steve Grant, but so far so good up here for everyone. Top 12. There's Eli a little further back, and then of course Magoo.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite tracks as far as the line goes because I've really found the way to where I can go into turn one, get it all the way down to the white line without clipping the apron. I let it slide up a tiny bit, and then I rotate it back down, clip the white line again on exit, and then go all the way up to the outside wall. And then when I go into turn three, I'm just hugging that white line through the whole corner. And then I
Second,
maximize back up to exit to the wall as well. Like literally like a few inches, if not an inch from smacking the wall here. And that was for last year. Obviously, I haven't practiced as much, but when you practice a lot, you're able to get your line down and you become very, very comfortable with how you're driving the track that when you come off of turn four, like, yeah, I might scrape the wall here, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to. So you just confidently control the car off corner exit.
there is such a big aspect to feel, especially obviously when it's a sim. But once you get that feel down and you know uh, where where the lift points are, how to turn the wheel, where the individual little kind of yeah, as you said with one and two there, that little area that you're able to catch it a little bit better. Once you find that groove, like you said, and you're able to just repeat it over and over again, and that just makes such a big difference as far as just the is just having fun with it, but also just your overall speed, of course. And that's of course on display for a lot of these guys up front at the moment, as well as, of course, my friend Zach Rogers here, quite the accomplished racer in his own right, as we have often mentioned, but rightfully so. Good lord, this
Oh,
oh goodness.
Cody Luke went around.
There's a caution, and that is a little bit of rear end damage there on the 8.
It stepped out on him going into turn three. I was going to say that was like the third lap where I saw somebody hit the wall on the coming off of turn two. It looks like Cody just went into turn three a little high and it stepped out on him. backs the rear end into the wall and points it back in the right direction, but went around enough to draw the caution flag, and that saves Magoo. Magoo was probably a couple laps away from being put a lap down.
Yeah, it was big right there. Try and keep everybody on the lead lap. And Magoo is going, oh, thank you very much. I will take that.
What's up,
And
Verco?
for go, good to see you, dude. Yeah, regroup. We got two cautions so far. Just took 100 laps to go. Everybody looks like going to come back down once again. A couple kind of similar length runs there. But that's going to be an interesting handling number 8 now that that rear end is a little bit tore up. But hopefully, they won't have to flat out just tear the thing off.
I got a fun stat for you.
Hit me.
So Eli stayed out for his lady lap. This is Eli's 8th start at Lowe's in the Cup Series. That is just the second lap he has led here. Ooh,
Dang.
strategy. Dunlaprad, 2 tires on pit road to take the lead.
Oh, all right. Looks like Dagenhart maybe trying to get some track position here. Yep, gonna
I
not
don't
quite get
know
as
if
much as he was hoping there, but done. Yeah, that's gonna be big.
did Dagenhart take 2 as well. No, he took 4.
He did. Okay.
He just had a really good pit stop. We'll see what this does for Dunlaprad. I mean, it was about a 7 and 8 lap run. There is typically only about a second or so, second, maybe a few more tenths of tire fall off over a full run here.
Is that enough that that will really cause him much of an issue? I don't think it will, just based on yeah knowing what you just said, and also Dunn being a driver that, in my experience, has been very decent at saving his stuff. Yeah, everyone can hear me, right? You're gonna say yeah.
Yeah, it's
Hopefully,
not us. It's not us. It's on their end.
Patreon, you absolute goober.
Um, yeah, so that just completely derailed my train of thought. Anyway,
Sorry.
Magoo stays out for his lady lap. That'll be his 21st lap led here in his 20th start. Sometimes YouTube can be goofy. Um, I've had this happen before where I'll click on a video when I first open Chrome or something, and YouTube just will not play audio. And it's
Hmm.
like, well, why am I not getting audio? The audio's on. And yeah, you have to close it and reopen it. Yeah, YouTube's just stupid sometimes, Mantron. It happens to me too.
YouTube is a glorious, wonderful thing that also loves to have its moments. Just,
Nothing's
just
perfect.
a few.
Nothing is perfect. Our technology isn't perfect because we made it.
We got philosophical up in here, even though that's just a factual statement. It'll be 24 or 24 laps in once we take this stripe here. Huh, interesting. But Zach, I'll go ahead and I guess since we're probably going to be getting one to green here,
You want my
I'll.
stats?
I was gonna say, well, I was going to turn it over to you if you got the door to Bulldog's garage open.
I need more than a lap. I would have needed to do it when the lights were still on last time. We'll do that next yellow at the rate we're going if we get one. Otherwise, we'll just do it during a pit cycle or something. But anyway, um, we'll just get my stats out of the way because no one's gonna want to hear them later anyway. Cough, Tyler. Um,
Oh,
so I've run 3 races here. I have a perfect top 3 streak here in the Cup Series with the 1 win and a P2 finish, and I got the win there in the 2024 race. I have an average starting position of 3rd here. I've never won a pole. Always Tyler or Ricky J has been in the way. Very competitive. But so the one race I've won here back in 2024, I led 103 of the 140 laps ran.
This guy's a
Pure
legend over here.
domination.
Absolute legend.
So actually, though, the single race laps led record is 139 of 160 laps back when they ran 40%. That was way back in 2010 by somebody under the name of Hard Up. And that was
Hmm.
their only ever race here at Charlotte. So I'm curious if that was actually somebody who later changed their name and it just, uh, Tyler just didn't know because there were a lot of names I know when Tyler did the records that there were like people who ran under like completely different names at times. And, a lot of the guys here knew that and were able to tell Tyler that. So they were connected. But that one is an outlier.
We may have to get some clarification on that at some point as we're back to racing. And everybody coming through 1 and 2. A little bit scattered further back here, but everyone appears to have kept it straight and looking good thus far. Including the 8. It looks like he's got that thing pretty well patched up. Check.
Eli's loose in 3 and 4. He hits the wall and he is
Oh
going to
boy.
save it, but loses a ton of time.
Unsure if he got a flat tire out of that as well. But nope, looks like he does have all 4 tires up, but clean and green, but at the same time,
Battle for the lead.
Eli in trouble. Here we go. Tyler and Dunn. Dunn's fighting it here on the outside. And,
Ooh.
whoa!
Yeah,
Off the
he
corner
was.
there. Almost some trouble, and Wiley's going to follow suit. Coming into second place there is the 95 Dunn, still trying to fight it on the outside. A valiant effort, but I think there's only so much that being on the outside, you're able to do 2 tires or 4.
Yeah, when you're stuck on the top at a game track, you're pretty much just a sit and duck. Looks like Ricky J's going to maybe let him in line for now since they're all relatively close.
Everyone really stacked up here in the top 5, top 6. Steve Grant, there's Noah Dagenhart, and Nelly. Of course, you can never count out Nelly in these things. He's up here in 7th place. Everybody's still nose to tail, relatively speaking,
You can also
when you get
never
right down
count
to it.
out Nelly on a self spin either.
Oh, I mean, you're not wrong, but also, oof.
That's why there's a Nelly moment of the race. He's usually in one at least once a race, but he
And
always rebounds.
the guy's always got great speed, but we love to we love to smack him around a little bit. That's
Speak for yourself.
oh, I have a lot of fun smacking him around. Okay, let's move on now.
Oh,
Highland King going for the race lead, possibly. Looks like he's just gonna settle that in here. Got 91 laps to go in this race.
who's counting?
Who's counting what?
Who's counting how many laps to go?
I am. That's what I gotta do. If I can't keep track of uh like how many laps this race normally would be, or how many laps percentage the season has been,
Oh, hey guys,
or
look,
just being
90
able to
laps to
sentence.
go. What do you know? 90 laps to go, guys. Can you believe it? 90 laps to go.
Now I'm gonna slap this guy around if he's not careful. Oh my.
We have fun here.
We have too much fun. We have it's I don't know who has more fun. Do you think us or Blaine?
Uh, they just tell stories, really. I think they have their own kind of fun.
That's the bottom line of it all. If we have fun, everyone else has fun. If these guys still enjoy it,
I
then hey,
think we're
that's the whole point.
I think we make it a little
Woof.
more comparable to JTN because Joe and whoever he has on, they like joking around.
Yeah.
Blaine and Rod, they do a good job of telling stories of life experiences and stuff, and they have fun in their own way doing that, which is a good thing because that makes the commentators different, and it's good to have different commentators. You don't want everyone to be doing the same thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely. Everybody, I think, brings something different to the table, and it's like I've always said, I'm just trying to follow suit as best as I can, and maybe provide just something that little bit unique. But hey, what JTN has going is very unique. What Tarnation has going is very unique. And then there's Flatout, but they're whatever. I'm just kidding. I
Don't
love you,
forget,
Seth.
don't forget Fast 29. Don't forget our boy Chris Pickett.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. I don't watch enough of him. I gotta.
He's mostly doing iRacing right now.
Now, if you want someone who's like really big and up and coming in this stream and stuff, actually not really, but I'm going somewhere with this. Go subscribe to Bulldog Speed. He does way better than any of us.
Who's that loser?
I think quite the opposite of a loser. I think that he is an absolutely awesome, handsome fella who loves his Buffalo Wild Wings.
You flirting with me right now? Anyway, we should probably get back to the racing, even though Wiley King still has gone nowhere. Dunlaprat has gone nowhere. Ricky J has gone nowhere. I mean, I
He's
don't think
trying to avoid the
anybody.
conversation, everybody.
I don't think anybody's gone nowhere. As Cody Luke almost wrecked off of turn two. Um, I mean, we're still trying to get to the long run here. We're about halfway through the run, so we should start to see some movement soon here. Game tracks is typically, who can save their tires the best.
We'll give Wiley a lot of credit here, though. He is remaining within striking distance of the 18, and Dunlaprat is also doing the same thing, just a couple car lengths off of that. And despite being on those two tires, I think it's going to be very telling for the tire wear in the long run. As actually, I may have had to get out of the throttle there, but that kind of tells you that the fall off is not all that significant, even though it was only a handful of laps. Still able to stick with these guys and maintain a very, very good pace. So we'll see if that will continue to pan out as this long run goes on. If it continues to uh, go on this long run pace, but everyone's still within what's it, probably about 2 seconds. Looks like, yeah, top 10 about 2 seconds separating each other there, which is pretty darn impressive. BSR DJ Champ rounding out that top 10 as it stands.
Yeah, and DJ, I was talking to him about earlier. His stat line here, like 5 wins,
You were for fifth.
13 poles here, but then also 13 DNFs out of those 22 starts. And what he told me is he's got turns 1 and 2 down pat, but turn 4 it can get really loose on him sometimes, and that can be why it can just kill him at some points in the race.
And yeah, we've seen how much turn 4 is can be quite the trouble spot. We saw turn 3 for Cody Luke earlier, but yeah, how
Eli
many
down
guys
pit
did we
road.
see nearly spinning off of 4? As we also got to see Noah Degenhart take 5th place away from Steve Grant there, and we got 80 laps to go, everybody. And starting to string out a little bit more up at the front here, but Tyler's starting to pull away. Wiley King just kind of holding his own ahead of Dunn. And then Ricky J just playing that long run game, running fourth, just quietly doing his thing in that Boyles trucking Ford.
I totally didn't smack Andrew in the booth just now.
Is that what that was supposed to be?
Yes, that was me clapping my hands in front of the microphone.
That was. I wasn't sure what that was, but now that I know that that's what that was, ouch. But also, I deserve that.
Yeah, you like it rough, huh?
Oh my god! I don't know why I was not ready for that sentence.
Noah Dagenhart's looking to get rough with Ricky J. He's looking for 4th place.
I just need you to take over the channel at this rate. You are way more entertaining than I could ever be. Oh man. But yeah, he is really hounding him, and
Here he
here we go.
goes.
Battle for fourth. Steve Grant, maybe I'm gonna go with them, but that will be advantage Dagenhart on the inside lane.
Well, you know, I've seen a lot of things tonight, Andrew, but I'm pretty sure I just saw Ricky J hit the wall going down the straight line on the back straightaway. Yeah, he's gonna lose
Oh
another
boy,
spot here to Steve Grant, maybe another Denelli.
that's going to be eighth
One, two,
or
three. There they
seventh
all
rather.
go.
Yeah, from fourth to seventh, just like that for Ricky J.
I'll say Dunloprad's done a great job with this two-tire call. I mean, those left side tires are 8 laps older than everybody else's, and he has maintained third. But it looks like it might be starting to get a little tight. That left front tire can tend to wear a lot, depending on how much weight you throw on it. He might become a sitting duck here soon, as we are about 2/3 of the way into the run. You know, Andrew, when I've done a run here in the past, you know, solo typically you start out around high 29 twos as here comes Dagenhart looking for third. And you typically end the run around like a 30.2, 30.3. Now, with draft, obviously, you know, that changes, but the final lap time typically ends up around the same amount as, yeah, there goes done. 1, 2, 3 goes the 24, 011, and 103.
Yeah, he just felt it's pretty much the same fate as the 93.
Nelly!
Oh, and Ellie, that's the wall. I would not recommend that. But
Oh, gosh.
I'm gonna throw this out there right now. This 24 seems like he's got a very decent long run car. So keep an eye on Degenhart to possibly be making some noise here soon enough. But of course, he's got to catch these top two. And credit to Wiley King. I know you said that, yeah, he usually tends to be pretty dangerous at this track. Well, he's proving it right now. He has not let Tyler get away. And major props to him there. I mean, and the reason I say that is just because of how much we've been propping up Tyler and on the win streak that he's on. For anyone that's able to stick with him is pretty impressive. So, props to Wiley on that. We'll see if that will continue for the final part of this run. And if we do make it to green flag pit stops, Charlotte is a very tricky track to get onto pit road, I feel. It seems like for a mile and a half, it's a much tighter turn to come off the corner.
So the interesting thing is there's a tight turn, but then there is a little bit of a run of a track there before you get to the commitment line. Meanwhile, Andrew, as you were talking, Dunloprat has lost positions to the 93 of Ricky J, the 66 of Terry Scott, and the 028 of Monty Keller. So he is now down in ninth. DJ Champ currently on pace to take that position as well. But then Dunloprat should maintain 10th as Brain Fade is a decent ways back. It looks like Eli and Cody Luke have both made pit stops. I'm not sure Cody might have actually fallen out potentially as he is showing, I think, 4 laps down.
Ooh, that's not good. But yeah, I did. I definitely saw Cody come down pit road, and actually you see him well staying out of the way down on the apron there, and fair play there from the eights after he had some earlier trouble, brought out the second caution of the race. Why the King looks like he's starting to fall off, and I just saw some smoke on the front stretch. Don't know who that may have been. That may have been Cody, not sure.
Cody down pit road again. It looks like he's having trouble either clearing a black or making adjustments or some such. He's been backing down pit road about 3 times now.
And Wiley just got passed by both Degenhart and Steve Grant. So Wiley King just fell to fourth after we were just hyping him up there, but still trying to stay in touch with these guys. Degenhart and Steve Grant now looks like they're going to be the ones to try and see if they can hunt down this 18. Question now becomes uh, could going for the undercut end up actually being the strategy that may get you the track position to try and fight for this win a little more comfortably than if you're just trying to run out of fuel?
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely put you in a little bit of an early advantage for the next run, but you know, if you make the undercut here, you got to hope that you know you get the undercut and then you go about 5 to 10 laps and then a caution comes out. That way you can, keep that net gain over the 18, get the 18 to fall maybe the fifth, fourth or fifth. He'll get 2 spots back on pit road because of the stall location at the first pit stall. Tyler's actually clutching a little bit right now.
Ooh, okay. I think we were just, I think it was lap 25 that we went back green.
Yeah, they were on pit road lap 21, 22. So, I mean, they've all got a pit here pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm
Tyler
just trying to
could
do the
be
math in my head.
Tyler could be looking to delete a pit stop here because if everybody pits lap 55 to 57, then they pit again, 80, 86 to 88, that's going to be really tight. Yeah, Tyler is in full clutch mode right now. Dagenhart up to second.
Terry Scott just got by Ricky J for sixth. Yeah, it looks like Ricky may be struggling here. A little surprising out of that 93. And doing a battle with Terry Scott and Monty Keller. So we got DJ Champ here in the top 10. And let's see. Ooh. Oh, first off, one thing to note here is that Degenhardt has big time closed in for the race lead. Cody Luke just went through the grass.
Nobody else
And
is clutching right now.
yeah, see. Oh, Steve Grant drifting on the pit road. As we got some takers here, including Grant and King. Steve Grant may have just lost a little time with that, but
Yeah, he lost
my
a lot of time. He
goodness.
slowed up for his teammate there and lost some time.
I give him props, though. He held on to it, and that could have been 10 times worse.
Tyler, Dagenhart, Nelly. Looks like everyone else is going to pit here.
Ooh, Nelly a little hot. There goes Ricky J. There's Terry Scott. Ooh, also locking it up there was the 66. 91 is also in. Monty Keller has opted to go another lap.
King and Grant now off of pit road. King in front of the 011 after the spin. Ooh, don't get on the track.
Yeah, this is a very treacherous
Kind of a
apron
double
to try
corner.
and. The 114 is going to speed past. We'll see if
Dunlap
we.
has lost second gear, which
Oof.
not bad, not really bad right now, but on a restart, that's going to be killer. I remember one year Ken Hansen lost second gear, and it was brutal for him on restarts. It was second or third.
Yeah, those are usually pretty painful to lose. As here comes Tyler and Degenhardt back onto the track. Nelly a little bit behind them, and actually looks like
Yeah, King and Grant didn't gain anything because of
you
Grant's
know.
spin. In fact, they lost time.
Yeah, I think that may have been as there comes Monty coming off pit road there. That may have been from Grant's slide. May have lost them a little bit. But now that we know the long run speed that 24 has, and now that he is pretty much closed in, or at the very least, it's probably what, like half a second, it looks
Oh,
like.
Eli loose again off of turn 4 in front of Steve Grant.
That's going to force Grant to the outside. That's not ideal.
King will go by on the top, and so will Ricky J.
I think Ricky J may have learned something from that run after falling back quite a ways.
Ricky
Dunlap
J's
Pratt is
no
seventh.
he's no slouch here. He just, he didn't really get a lot of practice. So that first long run was probably his true practice right there. So I think, put that 93 back in the game. Obviously, you had a 3.5 second disadvantage right now. But if you throw a caution here at some point, that 93 is right back in it. As Cody Luke has called it a night. He was struggling pretty much the whole time, and he got here late as well.
Yeah, I saw him going through the grass there, and it's not been a great night there for the eight. So opted to call it a little bit short, and just past the halfway point now. here at Lowe's, Charlotte, whichever you may prefer. Uh, I
I
would
think it's
not
a good
recommend
time.
taking a shower with a toaster plugged in. Just saying, and also hello to Matt in the chat as well. But yes, Zach, take it away.
Yeah, I think it's a good time for Bulldog's Garage. So we're gonna just look at the weight bias here, and then the rear of the suspension here. So for my setup personally, I've got the front bias at a 1750 with 100 pounds of wedge taken out of the car. Common sense here, left bias all the way to
Oh,
the left. If there's a wreck, just let me know. I'm not looking at anything but the garage right now.
you're good.
Um,
I just caught Magoo going through the grass, but he kept it straight. You're good.
but so those weight bias settings produce 977 pounds on both the left front and the left rear, with a 773 pounds on the right front, 873 on the right rear. So it's even on the left side weight wise, and then the right rear has 100 more pounds than the right front. Now, when you look at the suspension, I've got the left rear springs at 400 pounds and the right rear at 425. So there's a little bit of kick when I come off the corner from that spring difference. The track bar's flat at 8.5. The rebounds are at 3. Now, the important thing here is my compression. I'm able to run the front bias probably 5-10 pounds further back because I have the left rear compression at 6 and the right rear at 1. And what that does is it really tightens up the compression for the left rear and the right rear wheels. And that is your Bulldog's Garage here for Lowe's. Front of the car suspension wise is nothing special.
And that is how you navigate a track that appears to be the same on both ends, but sure as
But
heck
it's
does not
not.
drive like it. Not at
No,
all.
you have a weird geometry thing with the way they designed this track. 3 and 4, is pretty seamless all the way through the corner. There's no huge banking transition going into the corner, and there's like it's really kind of flat coming off the corner. But when you go down in the turn one, the corner kind of starts late and then it swings down. So you're kind of going down a hill when you go into turn one, and then when you come off of turn two, you're going up the hill. If you want, Andrew, a good way to really showcase that would be to take a lap on board
I was just thinking
with
that.
a driver, maybe the 93 of Ricky J.
Yeah, we'll hop on board with Ricky J here. We'll go roof, and yeah, you'll see, and it's way more pronounced, obviously, when you're actually driving it. Like right about here, it starts to push, and then right there is where you feel it kick back in, and that, yeah, almost that little twitch down at the bottom that the car wants to do, and you feel like the grip really kicks back in. So that's something to watch out for. If you're not prepared for it, it can catch you off guard, but at the same time, it's like, ooh, there's some grip there. It actually feels kind of nice. And then, yeah,
Yeah, you
like you said,
can
3 and 4 is just way more just like your common sweeping corner.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it in the race setup when you go into turn one, when you go down that hill and it compresses the springs where the downhill stops. And depending on your force feedback, you might feel like a tiny twitch or so. In qualifying here, you're trying to go like 190 max through like the middle of 1 and 2, and boy, does it kick out loose if you don't do it right.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, these guys are slowing it down quite a bit. And just trying to save those tires, that's going to be the big one. We'll go ahead and get back to our regular shot here, but it was a couple laps around this wonderful track, and can definitely say, yeah, a lot of fun, but mostly fun as long as you, well, get the setup right. If you don't, like I didn't at Texas, then you'll be in for a bit of a painful time, and you're just going to be holding on to try and not hit a wall or have the back end kick out on you, especially off of 4. So one thing is for sure, as Tyler continues to clutch. Now, here's another question for you. Can that actually get to a point where clutching, when you get so used to it, that's almost like that's just how you're used to driving the corner, and it may actually drive better for you, so you just do it anyway.
I don't know if that would be true for Tyler because Tyler typically drives off the right front of the car, so he's typically driving a, you know, tighter setup than most, not by like a lot, but like he usually runs a tighter setup than the rest of the field. So if anything, it's just making him feel even tighter. So when he goes back to not clutching, it should just feel relatively normal. If it were me, yes. Like if I start clutching, I'm getting used to how snug it feels on entry and how it's going to kick when the RPMs go back up middle of the corner. If I go into a corner without doing that at the beginning of a run, I'm going to have to remind myself like this is going to be loose cuz you're not going to clutch it here on new tires, so be ready
Mm-hmm.
or
And
around you go.
the different, yeah, the difference in characteristics. So I just there was once or twice that I've been in a race where I had to clutch it, and then I started to do that and realized, wow, this actually feels better than when I was driving it normally. It was odd. It was a very oddball feeling. But what this is doing right now, Tyler just continuing to run his race, run his line. We're on lap 75 and 120, so kind of based on the numbers that we were seeing and what you were saying, Zach, we're probably 10 to 13 ish laps away from what will likely be the final pit stop for these guys. That should put these guys at a rate that they should be able to make it
Tyler didn't
relatively
clutch into
safely.
turn 1 that time.
I was just checking ahead here. Brain fade a little ways up the track in the 11th. Could be in the crosshairs here at some point. Noah Degenhart trying to run down Tyler Mallon here on this long run. Nelly is sticking right with him there in third. Steve Grant Wiley King running fourth and fifth. They actually kind of closed in quite a bit along with Ricky J. So that is the top six
I think
top
he's done.
runners all within 2 seconds. Think he's saved enough? He's not clutching anymore? Oh, yep, I
Yeah,
see what you mean.
this is the second lap in a row he
Uh
hasn't
oh.
clutched it into either corner.
Someone had a moment in turns 3 and 4 there. Don't know who that would have been. I don't see Magoo on the track. I wonder if. Oh, no, there he is. Never mind, I stand corrected. It may have been Eli. I see he just had a 33-second lap time, so. Sorry what that was. Have fun at the 600, my friend. Boy, for the ninth time, that's a lot of miles. It's pretty cool. So, money stop rapidly approaching. Execution is going to be the name of the game to try to keep yourself in it with a chance. And then after that, it's going to be another long run, of course, assuming that this continues to go green. We had two cautions early in the race within the first 20 laps. Clean and green ever since. And one set of green flag pit stops down. And we are rapidly approaching the second one and likely the final one. So it's going to be, like I said, all about the execution. Coming up to 40 laps to go. And that is going to determine who will be in it with a chance at this race win. Because I think he just clutched again. So,
And Steve Grant, Wiley King, Ricky J have started to fall back from race leader Tyler. They had closed in and were keeping up with Nelly and Noah, but now they are falling back. Ricky J actually just took fifth away from Wiley King.
yeah, maybe they
Ricky
burned up their
J,
stuff a little bit.
Ricky J here, Andrew, in 12 starts has a perfect top 10 record with 11 top 5 finishes.
Whoa. Looking for number 12 here tonight, and definitely has a chance at it.
Oh, and those top 5s, all of those 11 top 5s are top 3s.
Whew.
In total, he
Podium
has
finishes.
6 wins, 2 seconds, and 3/3.
He's
He's
gonna
a
need a
monster.
little bit of good luck in order to be able to continue that. Uh,
Well, I mean, yeah, he kind of came in with no practice, but like I said, he's dialed it in.
that's true.
He gets a yellow here. He's back in the game. You can't count him out.
Absolutely not. Heck, the fact that he's even had the amount of speed that he has for running all of maybe the final 2 minutes of practice and then qualified, and then you got the 5 minutes of happy hour. I
Yeah,
could never pull that off and have the speed that he's showing.
you were right. Tyler is clutching again. Ooh, he clipped the apron there.
He's still not losing a lot of speed. He's looking very solid, still running mid to high 29s. He should just gain tenth and a half there on Dagenhart. And Nelly also about on pace with the 24 as they've caught the 49. Pit stops should be coming up here shortly.
Now, a lot of
And
people, Andrew, sorry to interrupt you once again.
you're good.
A lot of people might question, why is Tyler clutching, but nobody else is? Well, for one, clean air. Tyler's burning more fuel in clean air. In the draft, you're able to have more off throttle time. You save more. The car accelerates more because of the draft. So you're using less fuel there. Wow, words are hard.
I feel
Um,
that.
Secondly, Tyler, for whatever reason, whether it's his throttle technique, which by the way does a great help to him saving tires, but whatever the reason, Tyler is always one lap shorter than pretty much everyone else, no matter what track you go to. I don't think it has anything to do with the gearing, as weird as that sounds. It's something with the technique that Tyler utilizes to drive the car that he is always a lap shorter.
Huh. And
So
you know what's
when
funny? I
you're
don't think I've ever seen his telemetry.
when you're clean air and you're a lap shorter, you're 2 laps shorter.
Yeah. Yeah,
So the
so
rest of these guys have nothing to worry about. But Tyler, he's been leading the whole run since the restart 60 laps ago. Like he has to save to make it to the lap he needs to, which I'm going to assume is probably either 88 coming to 89 or 89 coming to 90.
well, 88 now, so this will be a moment of truth.
Dunlap is going to pit.
That
He's
is
actually
very
already on
interesting.
pit road.
Yeah, you see him there. Just kind of check on through the rest of the field at the moment. Tyler starting to catch DJ, as Matt was not able to make it tonight due to trying to get some kind of housework in before it got super hot, it looks like. So we missed you, man, but hey, do what you gotta do, and we appreciate you stopping by. Of course, Mantrion, always great to see an old friend in the chat as well. As Tyler and Degenhart have stayed out this lap, as
Wiley
has
King
Nelly.
is going to come this time by. Wiley King said he's going to come this time by.
See if anyone else responds. Tyler keeps it on the racetrack. Gonna get by the 91 and through the grass, holding on to it. That was almost the moment of the race there. Tyler just about bent it.
Steve Grant and Wiley King weren't sure if they were going to get a yellow or not, man. They pit as late as they possibly could.
Whew. As Tyler actually, he looks a little squirrely on these corner exits. And I think
Yeah,
getting underneath of the 91 did not help that.
Tyler's going to go another lap here to be safe. Nelly will come down.
Degenhart stays out. There's Brain Fade coming in. Ricky J being
Ooh,
aggressive. Dancing
the
that thing
grass.
around. Whew. There's Terry Scott in as well. Hey, gain what you can, but that was very bold there from the 93.
I think Tyler would be pitting here.
Oh, yeah. Yep,
Yep.
he's coming in. Degenhart following suit, it looks like. And Degenhart closed in big time after that moment. So, we still got ourselves a race here. 30 laps to go. And it looks like they both came down there pretty cleanly, so now it's just going to be a matter of getting in and out of the box and how you're able to get off of pit road and back onto the track.
Well, that was a bit of a pass in the grass there for Tyler going to the inside of DJ. Yeah, I
That
mean,
was insane.
there's nothing worse as the leader, and this happens to me all the time. There's nothing worse than you're going to catch the lap car and you're catching them you get in the corner, you're catching them like you're just like, "Oh no, please let me get to the straightaway before I get to you." And then nope, you get it to him right on corner exit and it throws off your whole exit as a Noah Dagenhart has taken the lead here.
Ooh, look at that. That's big there for the 24. We see the 103 and the 11 coming off of turn 2 now. Looks like they're going to be a little bit behind. Not too far, but they're going to have to try to run them down somehow. But how the turntables. Noah Dagenhart to the point on pit road. And now, will that long run speed continue to benefit him? Or can Tyler try to take it back? Tyler
Now
clipped the apron there. This is going to be good.
this is where your question comes back of, when is it you're no longer used to how the car drives? It's right now, because now both of these drivers have been in the opposite condition the entire night. Tyler's been in clean air all night. Noah's been in the draft all night. So now Noah has to be careful here because, when you're in dirty air all night, that helps tighten your car up. So when you get in clean air, it might feel a lot more squirrely than what you've been used to these last 90 laps. Now for Tyler, Tyler's car is tighter, but Tyler is used to tight, so it doesn't really have the same effect. You can see him hounding Noah already. He wants this lead back. He wants it back now.
Yeah, he closed right back in there in a hurry. And I remember seeing this when they had that first set of green flag pit stops. Noah was uh, only maybe a handful of car lengths off of the 18 and then dropped way back and then started to close that gap again. Noah definitely has the better long run car. Either that or he just drives it way more conservatively to try to kind of counteract that. But now, yeah, is he going to allow himself to be forced into driving it harder to try to maintain this race lead? I know Tyler is going to try and do exactly that. And if that will end up playing into Tyler's favor, because Tyler, as you said, is hounding him for this race lead, whether that's by design to try to take it back or just playing with the 24 to try to get him to burn up his stuff. Remains to be seen, and I think that we will find out in exactly 24 laps.
Didn't get to see it in time, but last time by, before the ticker reset, Nelly was 1.666 seconds behind Noah Dagenhart.
Oh, that's not good. That's not lucky.
You know what we haven't had yet tonight?
What's that?
A random engine failure.
Oh, you had to say it.
Oh, you bet I did.
Oh, you just said it. All right, well, who's it going to be?
Probably the
Oof.
18.
If it's the 18, that would be like.
He
It,
still
it,
has that running at the finish record because the last time he blew up here, it only took out a cylinder and they were, by some miracle, they were able to fix it.
if the 18 blows up in DNFs, I will. Uh,
Oh, I'll be
uh,
getting hate mail for the rest of the week.
yeah, and I will go do some sort of challenge. I don't know. I'll do something because that would just be utter insanity. I mean, good grief, he's already just about gotten to the quarter panel of the 24 here a couple times. 24 has actually nudged that apron a couple times in turn 2. That's not what you want to see. Matt's hoping for the same thing as you, Zach.
I
Noah
don't know.
seems like he's got the car for 3 and 4. Tyler's got it for 1 and 2, at least
I
at the
don't know.
moment.
I don't know why my YouTube chat breaks, but sometimes my YouTube chat just stops loading new messages, so I haven't seen any messages for the last like 15 minutes. I thought people just stopped typing.
Oh, now we've had Matt in here. We've got someone else in chat, Taladev, who's rooting for Noah. 20 laps to go here at Charlotte. Two early cautions. It has been a clean race ever since. And yeah, Nelly trying to close the gap here a little bit. Doing a great job in third. Wonderful job there for that 103. Still got Steve Grant, Ricky J, and Wiley King battling for fourth, fifth, and sixth, respectively. Dunlop Proud in seventh. And then that would be Terry Scott eighth. And I don't even know who's ninth. Oh, that would be Monty Keller.
Oh, here we go, maybe. Here we go, maybe off turn two.
Ooh,
Tyler with a tiny bit of a run. He's going to look to the inside of the
looking.
24 in the turn three. Noah's going to try to cover it, but he can't.
And
They're
they
side
get
by
there.
side coming off of turn four.
Close there through one of the tighter corners here on the track. 24 is going to try to hold on to it on the outside. Again, is he burning up those tires too much? Trying to do this. Of course, advantage Tyler being on the inside. Just barely going to get
Crossover.
clear. Loose is the
Packed the air on
18.
him. He packed
Oh,
all that air
beautiful
on the
move.
spoiler.
Tyler Mallon looking to win 8 races in a row. Dagenhart trying to break that streak, but now finally clears the 18. Now you got to regroup here, get those tires cooled off, and try and give him a run in a few laps' time. These guys didn't quite close that much there after that battle, but that was really, really good there. Checking on lap traffic, DJ Champ off of turn 4, and now these guys coming off 4 now. So, don't know if maybe that could play into it. We saw Tyler Joe almost have a moment earlier. Only time will tell. 16 laps to go. Fantastic Charlotte race here, I gotta say.
Noah's going to try everything he can to maybe set up a run to get back to the inside of Tyler. But it's not going to be easy. He's got a pretty good run here off of turn 4. He's trying to maximize the run by going a little high towards the wall. He'll get close here, but not close enough to make the move.
Yeah, I saw him really back up the corner entry there for turn 3. That's gonna be how you're gonna have to do it. There's no way you're gonna be able to dive it to the inside. So yeah, you're gonna have to try and make that run happen so that you can maybe try to get to that quarter panel. But of course, Tyler is going to be defending that inside lane with all of his might. Got 14 to go. And oh my gosh, Zach, I just realized something.
What's that?
Remember that race that I said earlier about Bobby Labonte getting passed on the last lap?
Yeah, I just saw Matreon's message.
He just made me realize we may be looking at a repeat of history.
Tyler, I'm not sure if he got squirrely or if I was just seeing things. But distance remains the same. Just over a tenth is the gap.
That time's just a couple hundredths advantage there for the 18. These two are starting to pull well away from everybody else. Battle may end up being on for third here if Steve Grant can continue to close that gap. So battle is still on.
Ricky J's right on his bumper too, trying to close in for that spot as well.
Yeah, battle for third could get really, really dicey if things start to calm down up here.
Nelly was faster than both of them that time. I mean, these guys are practically even, but Dagenhart closed in 200ths at the line that time by.
Yeah, Dagenhart, he's just got to keep those right sides. I think that he's got to think about just saving those for just a few more laps. But now it looks like Tyler's starting to open it up. I think that was a 10th that time. So I think give advantage 18. Noah's going to keep trying at it, but this is another long run that we've got going on here. As it looks like DJ's just going to bail out to the inside. It's a gentleman move right there out of the 91. Coming to 10 laps to go. Another lap car well ahead, so we got a little while before that even becomes a remote factor. But here we go, 10 laps. And does Degenhardt have anything left to try and snap that winning streak for the 18? Or does Tyler continue his dominance? But after two green flag pit stops and what is going to end up being about a or just under 100 lap green flag run, the fact that it's gotten this close between these two is pretty darn cool to see, and this has been an excellent race as a result.
DJ Champ on pit road.
Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be another one of those famine races for the 91. But not a DNF, so got that going for him.
I mean, these two up front are just practically even. You're just kind of hoping Tyler makes a mistake, but it's 1 in a million that he does that.
Yeah. Everything's still looking pretty even. Third through sixth. Yeah, all these guys under a blanket, relatively speaking, which is pretty cool once again. But another half a tenth advantage there for the 18.
DJ's
24
just
is
sitting on pit
managing to get
road.
lower. But then that's allowing Tyler to get the run on exit. There's that little bit of squirreliness again. It's a little back end kick out on corner exit, but 7 laps to go. And still give advantage 18. I think he's just got to worry about keeping his nose clean at this point. That 24 is not even there. Just keep your eyes ahead. Checking in on the third through sixth guys here. Everything is holding pretty much the same still. Advantage Nelly ahead of Steve Grant. And Ricky J there still running P5.
Oh no!
What was that? Oh! I don't know what you no at, but I did just catch Ricky J almost bending off of two.
Major look.
You absolute. You're fired. This guy's gonna give me a heart attack over here. 5 laps to go, and
I wish something happened, but no.
yeah, Tyler's starting to just inch away, just a little bit.
This is basically our point of no return here at 4 to go. Even if we got a caution now, the race would be over.
8 in a row potential here. Just 4 laps away. And Bobby Labonte redemption, perhaps, I guess you could say. Especially since he's beaten the Lowe's car to do it. But, hey, still got 3 laps. You just never know. Maybe Magoo's going to wreck him.
That'd be nice.
Or maybe... Or maybe Zach's just going to call out something that didn't happen and make me want to
No.
chuck him out of this
No,
booth
no,
window.
no. No, once was enough.
Yes, let's keep it that way. And yes, you heard me correctly. This will be 8 in a row.
I won nine in a row in a league once.
Well, you're Zach Rogers. You're unstoppable.
Yeah, but I mean, Tyler Mallon's unstoppable. Tyler's about to win 8 in a row here, and he's probably going to get 9 in a row unless there's like a thunder strike at his house next week.
You and Tyler are both, I would
Ominous
say,
foreshadowing.
on this. He's gonna summon the
Gonna be a lightning bolt that knocks out Tyler's power for the whole 2 hours at 8:59 p.m. next week.
white flag in the air at Lowe's, and Tyler Mallon into turns 1 and 2 for the final time, as he now has to hope that Zeus does not opt to strike that lightning bolt at his house.
Poof! There he disappears right before the start-finish line. Man, I'd be so unhappy.
all
But
unchanged for the third through sixth. And off of the final corner, golly, he's done it again. Tyler Mallon with the victory.
boo.
We are unbiased up here in the booth.
Speak for
I,
yourself.
I mean, I don't think that there's a lot of guys that will disagree with you. But Tyler's a great dude, and it is always awesome
Hey,
to be able to talk to him in the booth. But there is no denying that once you see a guy win eight in a row, you're like, all right, now what?
what do you mean you didn't poke a hole in the fuel tank? What'd I pay you all that money for?
Are you talking to?
What?
What,
What?
what,
I
I
didn't say anything.
was gonna say,
Nope.
what are you talking to
Not
Blake Warren or something? Or
not me. No, no. What are you talking about? That's blasphemy. Gaslighting me?
well, the next time that you and I share a racetrack together, I apologize in advance for the hole in your gas tank.
I thought you were gonna say your brake lines were gonna be cut.
Actually, you know what? Now I'll just take a saw to your roll cage. As boink. Now
Nothing like a
geese.
good nothing like a good make out burnout. Am I right, Andrew?
That sounds hot.
Very hot. I mean, look at the smoke billowing out from their cars right now.
I was gonna say it's gotten so hot that we can't even see Ricky J anymore.
Oh, they need their privacy.
Yeah, now they're gone. Yeah, now they're gone. All you see is a rear bumper. Boy, this is getting a little. I don't know if I can show this on YouTube.
I love how you just leaned away for a second. Oh, look, he
Yeah,
made him disappear.
I
It's
was
magic
I
trick.
was consulting my HR team to see if that was YouTube appropriate or not.
This is the HR team, Jaden.
No, Jaden's like two rooms down.
Oh,
The HR department is Herbert that's sitting over here. There's no one actually named Herbert sitting here.
I have a alter ego named Herbert.
How the heck did I just pull that off? That was just a total shot in the dark. Or are you making that up?
No, I have a Herbert Family Guy voice. I can do.
Oh.
I'm not doing that on the air though.
Darn it, you got my hopes up.
No, you're not getting that tonight. You already got enough goofiness.
Yeah, Mr. Oh no.
I was just sitting here like, I'm gonna get him.
Well, Tyler did not end up blowing an engine, and no, I do not have to engage in any ridiculous challenges.
Well, there
He
goes
went
my 1 grand. What a
he
waste.
wins again a grand.
Yeah, this is why you don't bet on stuff happening in races.
Don't gamble, kids. It will ruin you. Um, that's Tyler with the win. Degenhardt second. Nelly will hold on to third. Ahead of Steve Grant, Ricky J, Wiley King, the top six. Don LaPrade and Terry Scott will end up with lead lap finishes. Actually, quite a close finish there between Dunn and Terry Scott. Only about a tenth separating those two. Also finishing were Monty Keller a lap down. Brain Fade with the top 10. Eli and Magoo 4 laps down. DJ Champ did end up retiring. I had to say something. And Cody Luke and Pantelica also out from tonight. Again, 15 drivers that started. And only 2 cautions. Both of them falling within the first 20 laps. About 100 or just after, I think lap 20 was the second caution. After that, it was about a 95 lap green flag run then to the finish.
Yes,
That
sir.
was cool. Always bet your house, and you'll have nothing to lose the next time. Well, if that is one way to get yourself to stop
I
gambling,
had a house. Got a shack. Does that count?
uh, do you own it?
No.
Then no.
Damn it. Let's
uh,
just say we drag somebody in here.
I think we should
Ellie?
do that. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go down the order as always. They ain't in the waiting room yet, but you know what? They gave me permission to do this, so I'm gonna do it.
User was moved to your channel.
And even though he wasn't in the waiting room yet, we got Nelly in here. Nelly, do you copy?
Yes, I've got you.
So
Well, you
third
said we didn't
place.
have to go down and you'd just grab us.
Oh, hey,
Grab
uh,
That
grab
works.
you? Like physically
Zach,
Well,
grab
shut up.
didn't
you?
you?
Um,
I think he did.
Ignore
Pulled me
Zach.
right down here.
Zach has been a goober all night, so we are going to
We're
put him.
used to that, though,
We're
aren't
going to
we?
put him in the corner, and
What?
and
Not
I
the
will.
timeout corner, not again.
You're in the timeout corner again. Good job. You've done this to yourself.
Uh,
But uh, Nelly, third place finish for you. Obviously, of course, the top two were in their own zip code, and Tyler's Tyler. But
Yeah.
but all in all, though, if there was anyone that seemed like they were that they would have had anything in the long run for those two, it was definitely you. Do you feel like there was anything left in that car to maybe try to give
No,
them a run for their
not on the
money?
long run, no. The last 10, 12 laps, they were just killing me.
Oh yeah, those two just found a whole nother gear it seemed. But at the end of it, though, you still
I'm
had a
getting
good pack of
closer
guys
to
behind you.
Tyler. I still need a little more work.
Hey, any little bit helps. But
Yep.
you
hey,
find that fountain of youth yet?
No.
you did
Is that what it
manage
takes,
to.
Zach?
At this point, maybe.
Or a Zeus striking him down next week at Rockingham, which Zach has already put that curse on Tyler's house. But
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
uh,
he's going to lap everybody there next week.
I guess the only other question then that I have for you is just fending off those three guys behind you and managing to hold on to that spot. At least probably got to count for something.
It does. What's the old saying? I beat Ricky J.
You always got to be proud of that one.
Oh, yeah.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done on the third place there. Zach, are you going to behave if I ask you if you have any questions?
He muted himself for
He's
his mic.
he did mute himself, and he's
Plug
still
my
muted.
phone in.
Oh,
Um, um,
if you don't have anything, you don't have to.
um,
So
I
that's
got
a
a
no.
question for you, Zach. Where do you get all them stats?
Tyler's sheet.
Yeah,
Tyler has a separate sheet where you can individually look up a driver per track stat. So it
Oh,
just displays the whole list. Yeah, it's very, very nice. So I have to go through one driver at a time, write it all down.
hey, he's been my stat guy this for every race that I've done, and we thank Zach
he
for
is
that,
good at that.
and we thank Tyler for putting that together. So, uh,
Yeah.
hey, we appreciate what you two have been able to bring to the broadcast, and of course, we appreciate BSR for uh, putting on these streams and just for having me as part of the clubhouse. I
We appreciate you guys doing it. Putting it
always an
on.
honor. But anytime, of course, that we get you up here, Nelly, you know the drill. What you got?
Thank Brian and Kathy. Thank Magoo. Thank you guys. Thanks to all the other drivers that come out. Thanks for everybody watching, and thanks to my sponsor, the Medicine Chest.
Great job to you there in the third place. Best of luck on these final three races here for the season. Hopefully, Tyler doesn't win all three of them.
Hopefully, but
But nah, man, great job. Seriously, really, really good stuff.
Well, they're running
thank you.
Phoenix 2011, so we already know he's not winning that one. Well, then again,
Eh,
that's if
Are we
KJ
running?
doesn't show up. That's what I heard.
Oh, that's right. We might have had a vote on that. Everybody
Yeah.
would rather run that.
I heard a little birdie told me that it would be 2011. So
Hey, if it is
KJ
2011,
usually
I'll give it a
shows up
shot.
for that.
gonna have to take off bowling night. But yeah, good run for you tonight, Nelly, and hope you enjoyed that long run at the end.
Oh, I did. That was fun. Arms are tired, but oh,
You can take something for that.
yeah, I will. I got my medicine chest.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
And next on the list.
User was moved to
We
your
got
channel.
Noah Gregson Dagenhard up here. Noah, you
No,
got a copy?
no, Chris.
Yeah, I got a copy.
No F bombs this week, okay?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, yeah, don't do that. But also, Zach is still in the corner. He's being bad. But
I hate you. What reference is that, Andrew?
I can't tell if that's a Star Wars reference
Star
or
Wars, what else would it be? Come on. Now you're going in the timeout corner.
probably Chucky or something. I don't know.
Guessing me. Second guessing me. Anyway, Noah, what a great run for you tonight. You did great.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I wish it had gone in my favor, but just we're off the tires there at the end. But it is what it is. That was really fun.
Yeah, the main thing that I wanted to ask you about was it seemed like the very long run was when your car really came to life. Just really saving the tires that much harder throughout the run, or was that just really when the car seemed to be able to come to life and the setup really got you going there?
Well, I just it was really loose early in the run for me, and it would whenever I would get through the run, it would just get more snug, tighten up, and it would just I would be able to go because I would be able to turn really good, and that's how I got like up to second, I think, that one run whenever I was sixth. But yeah, it was good. That final run, I uh just pressured myself a little and ran a little too hard and heat the tires up, and I got passed by Tyler there at the end, but it was still good. It was still a fun battle. So
If after a 95 lap green flag run there, still to come down to you two battling there, and even if it is 7/10 of a second at the end, it's still pretty impressive after a run like that. So a very, very, very well done execution there for the number 24. Almost could have maybe had a repeat of history. Lowe's car passing the FedEx car um,
yeah.
for the win there, but still though, man, very, very nicely done. Zach, do you got anything else to add in?
No questions, but I would just say, as much as it didn't go the way you wanted there, you still did a really good job. You led a little bit there at the end. You got Tyler off of pit road, and you were able to keep up for pretty much the most part there to end the race. So good job.
Thank you.
And on that note, though, Noah, with of course finishing second, able to get you up here in the booth. Any closing thoughts, shout outs, anything of the sort? The floor is yours.
Just shout out to everybody. That was a good race. And Tyler for not having a spin, but yeah, it was a good race.
I would say so, indeed. Great run, man, and hopefully we'll get to see you up here again at some point soon.
Yeah, thank you.
No,
User was moved out of your
not
channel.
Gregson Dagenhart. All right, now for this guy.
User was moved to your channel.
Boo! Boo
Okay.
this man! Boo! Get him out of here!
Okay.
We're putting him back in the corner, I swear.
No! Don't you
Yep.
do that to me.
Now you just sound like Yoda.
It does sound like a very angry, dark side-ish kind of Yoda.
that was good. I can't laugh too hard or else I'll just start hacking. But
Hacking on what?
shut up. Tyler 8 in a
And
row. Good
Andrew's
grief,
been
dude.
dealing with this all night.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good stretch of tracks for this 18 team. We went about 10 weeks in a row where we really struggled at all the tracks. Now it kind of feels like it's averaging out a little bit. Thankfully, had a lot of good tracks lately, and we're going to another one next week. So
I was gonna
Them
say,
cheating Toyotas.
I know
No.
that's what she is so fired.
Thank God.
What?
I think I think I actually said that like maybe a month or two ago after Talladega, but obviously you're still here, so
Can I just
uh,
take 2 months without pay? Wait, that's normal. Shoot. Carry on, carry
you are gonna get that no pay at this rate.
on.
But
This is the interview of all time.
it has been a very fun stream. It has been a very good back and forth of like really getting down to it with the race, but also a whole lot of shenanigans.
Oh, that's always the best kind of stream. I can't wait to come watch this back.
Shenanigans is my middle name.
You're gonna have a lot of fun with this one, and everyone else watching is gonna have a lot of fun. But all in
Give
all, I
Ricky
guess
J the giggles.
the only question that I do have, at least um, in regard to the race, would be that one time when Noah Degenhart actually managed to get by you on pit road there. Uh, did you feel like you had his number there, or were you thinking, oh, you might have something?
I was pretty worried. I mean, I knew he was. He and I worked together earlier on a setup for his car. I knew he was going to be pretty fast because I saw him coming at the end of the first run while I was really starting to struggle. I had to actually make a couple adjustments mid-race to get the car to not spin out on the long run, and it was still really loose. I'm sure you saw I was kind of fishtailing around. But I knew it's so hard to pass at Charlotte. You got to do it early in the run. And in order to do it early in the run, you got to push your tires more than you want to. So I was kind of worried that pushing my tires that hard would give him a huge advantage later in the run. And thankfully, he started to get tight and I started to get loose, which ironically is kind of the opposite of both of our driving styles. He usually tends to be on the looser side and I tend to be plowing up to the wall. But I'm just glad it played out the way it did.
They panned out nicely at the end of the day, and yet another W for that number 18. And hey, avenged Bobby Labonte for what was it, 05?
Yep, 05 Coca-Cola 600. I lost the Charlotte race earlier in this season by half a car length to another Jimmy Johnson car. And thankfully, Bobby Labonte car finished ahead of the Jimmy Johnson-ish car this week.
You got the revenge. Zach, you got anything for Tyler? Can I trust you with this?
Yeah, I just want to know how many laps you had to clutch there. I saw you clutching there pretty much from that last restart through that whole stint, and then like the next stint, you like stopped for a little bit and then started again and then stopped again. So how much were you short there? Because I know, as I was saying, while you were clutching, you typically tend to burn one more lap than the rest of the field.
I mean, I usually struggle on fuel mileage, but this has got to be one of my worst fuel mileage tracks. I feel like I can save the tires here very well, but it comes at the expense of all that fuel. So I was probably about 2 laps short compared to the rest of the field. I don't think they were clutching at all. I think I was the only one clutching. And
nobody else clutched. I checked a lot.
Yeah, and I still had to. I had to do that just to make it as many laps as most people. So thankfully, they're able to make it. Actually, kind of save more than I needed to because I had about 3 or 4 extra laps at the end there somehow. I don't know how that works, but that's how that ended up. Thankfully, we were able to make it on fuel that long and put on a fantastic race with that 24. He was so fast. I did not know if I was going to be able to get around him, but he did a fantastic job.
Is it relieving that you finally got another Lowe's win and something didn't happen this time?
I know, yeah, exactly. Usually I have some pretty awful luck here. I got in a crash late in 2023 here, and then I blew up in 2024. It's been a rough stretch at Charlotte lately, and
yeah, I had my number 18 voodoo doll out, but it wasn't working tonight.
Oh,
I was gonna say he was trying. He tried to jinx you so hard with like 20 to go.
He always does.
Well, it didn't work, and thankfully I didn't have to take up my bet of if the 18 actually blows up, I would have to do something embarrassing on stream or something. So, thank you
What?
for not blowing up.
Well, thank the engine builders for this 18 group. We tend to have pretty reliable engines. I don't think we've DNF'd a race in a while, so it's been pretty good reliability ever since Charlotte. That's the last the Charlotte race from last season. That's when we had our most recent engine failure.
You got the lucky 1 in a million. Hey, you can still run on 7 cylinders. Engine failure.
Oh, that was so painful. I was 15 miles an hour off the pace. Just nothing I could do. But full speed this time, and it ended in a win.
No, as I said about 15 minutes ago before you came in here, we're gonna hex Mother Nature, and you're gonna lose power next Thursday night. I'm sorry.
Oh, at Rockingham? Oh man.
Yep.
I've been looking
wouldn't
forward
be
to the
on.
next Rockingham race, so hopefully this will go well.
Well, there's no stream next week, so ultimately it doesn't really matter. But well, regardless, once again, your speed is impeccable, and I mean it when I seriously mean it when I say that. I think that I've got I think the fastest drivers in NR2003 right now in this very TeamSpeak room that I'm in. So, seriously, kudos
Wow,
to you,
Andrew,
man.
you didn't have to
And
quote like that, man. And what the hell am I, chopped
sh-
liver?
shush,
Yes.
you know exactly what I'm talking about. I literally told you that
Actually, you're
earlier.
right. Yeah, I know. You and me, we're so great. Tyler ain't nothing to us, man.
Yeah, I know, right? No, just what a chump.
What?
Get good on a controller, and then we'll talk.
I was good on a controller 10 years ago.
Get back on that controller, and then we'll talk.
That just
No.
means you're washed.
What?
Well, if anyone's watched, it's me.
No,
But
you're just sick.
well, yeah, there's that too. Before this gets even crazier, Tyler, close the thought shoutouts, my man.
First off, thank you to everyone at Bomb Squad for putting on a fantastic race. 90 something laps at Charlotte. Green flag is always a lot of fun. And thanks to FedEx for being on the card this week. Thank you to you guys for broadcasting. Brian and Kathy Voiles for sponsoring the series. Magoo for putting on the show. And all the viewers for tuning in. And Noah for racing me clean there at the end. That was a lot of fun. I thought for sure when we came off the corner we were going to wreck. But it came off side by side in turn 4. I was so loose at the end of the race there. I was not sure we'd make it, but I'm glad we did.
Yeah, there were a couple times that that 18 made me a little nervous. I saw you get a little squirrely, but hey, all in all, your dominance continues, and you're like you said, you're going through a track that that dominance is looking good to continue. So, best of luck then. If I'm feeling extremely bold, maybe I'll join. I don't know, but
You
uh,
should.
that's
Just
have
go
fun with
have
us.
fun. Don't worry about where you finish. Have fun.
Yeah, come have fun with us.
hey, as long as if I
You're
can
not
find something that's drivable, that's the main thing.
you're not
But
gonna win anyway because that 18 car is out there.
don't worry, I'll put
That's
him in
the
the wall.
spirit.
Maybe you should make your maybe you should make it challenging. First gear and fourth gear only on restarts next week.
First, I'll just.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Or
I'd
second
rather
and
not
fourth.
do that, but
Second and fourth gear. I'm gonna make it a little easier. I don't even think we use first gear.
if I blow first and third gears, then I will end up doing that. Sound good?
If he blows the gears,
Don't qualify next week, please. Thank you. Okay.
Well, I wrecked in qualifying last time we came to Rockingham. I just bottomed out and went straight into the wall.
Yeah, do
As
that again.
it'll take him 5 laps to pass everybody.
Nah, that takes longer than that. Give the guys here a little more credit, Andrew. Come on, what's wrong with you?
It's not that I'm not giving these guys credit. It's that I'm saying this guy's an absolute.
No.
These guys always put up a great race, so put on a great race.
That's why I still run here a lot. Well, great win though, Tyler, and best of luck next week, my friend.
Thank you very much.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, Zach, we
I
saw
really like that guy.
I like him too. I don't. He wins too much, but yes, he a good guy.
You're not
Closing
supposed
thoughts
to
on the night,
say
my
that
friend.
out loud.
I like all these guys, so I can say
Oh, well. Closing thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to be seeing the 18 run circles in my dreams tonight.
that.
Golly. Yeah, great race though. Dagenhart put up a great fight. It felt odd seeing Ricky J a little behind the 8 ball. That 2-tire call didn't really work out for Dunn because it went green. And yeah, good racing between Ellie and Steve Grant all night. I didn't see what happened to Wiley at the end. I don't know if he just used his stuff up too fast. I think we kind of forgot about old Wiley. But a lot of guys that had great speed here tonight, and of course the long run. So W race.
W race indeed, and yeah, great job by everybody on only 2 cautions there, and then a 95 plus lap green flag run there at the end to get it to 2 sets of green flag pit stops. Very impressive, and yeah, I would say that was genuinely a really good race, and congrats to Tyler on the victory. Of course, we'll see everybody back here on Tuesday night for Hobo. That will be from Texas. And of course, every Tuesday night, give or take. And hopefully, some other stuff coming up very, very soon. Just keep posted to the channel. You'll see the streams go up once everything is set for those. And as always, thank you to Zach once again for being up here in the booth. That was genuinely a lot of fun, even if I did have to put you in the corner. So, to everyone watching, thank you for doing so, and we'll see everybody here very, very soon. Until next time, though, take care